Have you ever had one of those days where you feel like you're playing catch up from the moment you open your eyes? I think we all have. But what if you could completely flip that script? What if you could transform your entire day before most people have even thought about hitting the snooze button? Well, today, we're going to get into that. We're diving into the big idea behind the 5 a.m. Club. This really powerful concept that mastering your morning can, quite literally, elevate your entire life. So let's get into it. And it really all boils down to this one powerful promise from Robin Sharma. Own your morning, elevate your life. You know, this isn't just some catchy phrase for a book cover. It's the whole philosophy, the absolute core of this idea. Think of it like this. That first hour of your day, it's the steering wheel for the next 23 hours. If you can get that first hour right, you're not just starting your day, you're setting a powerful trajectory for incredible focus, for peace, and for peak performance. It's about setting the tone right from the very beginning. Okay, so I know what some of you might be thinking. Sure, sounds nice, but it's probably just about having more willpower. And that's a fair thought, but it's actually so much more than that. This isn't just a feel-good idea. There's real, solid science behind why this works so incredibly well. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual evidence-based benefits you get from structuring the very start of your day. What's so fascinating to me is how all of these benefits kind of stack on top of each other. It's like a domino effect for your brain. So think about it. When you start your day in total quiet, in solitude, before the chaos, before the emails and notifications start flooding in, your focus just becomes laser sharp. And then that feeling of calm control you start with, that builds your emotional resilience. It makes you better equipped to handle the stress that the day is inevitably going to throw at you because you've already centered yourself. And that quiet space, that precious hour, it becomes this perfect breeding ground for new ideas, for creativity, and for making much sharper, clearer decisions all day long. So the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you use this golden hour to get all those benefits? Well, the answer is the absolute heart of the 5 a.m. Club routine. It's simple, it's elegant, and honestly, it's an incredibly effective structure. It's called the 20-20-20 formula. This is the secret sauce right here. And you know what? It's as simple as it sounds. You take that first hour of your day and break it into 3 focused 20-minute blocks. The absolute genius of this formula is its holistic approach. See, it's not just about getting a workout in or just about meditating. It's about intentionally and systematically waking up your body, your mindset, and your spirit, all before the rest of the world starts demanding your time and attention. It's about the whole package. So here's exactly how that 1 hour flow works. The first 20 minutes are all about movement. We're talking about intense exercise, anything that gets you sweating and wakes up your brain with a flood of feel-good chemicals. Then you shift gears. The next 20 minutes are for reflection. This is your time to journal, to meditate, to just sit in silence and find some clarity and peace. And finally, the last 20-minute block is for growth. This is where you feed your mind, read a book, listen to a podcast, learn a new skill. So you see, body, mindset, spirit. You've nourished all 3, all in the first hour of your day. Okay, let's be real for a second. I know what you're probably thinking right now, because I thought it too. Waking up at 5 a.m., that sounds impossible. And trust me, I get it. But it absolutely does not have to be this giant, scary leap. So let's move from the what to the how. Let's get really practical and talk about how you can actually build this into a sustainable habit. The absolute key here is to not overwhelm yourself. And this might be the single most important rule for anyone who's just starting out. Please do not try to go from waking up at 7:30 to 5 a.m. overnight. That is a recipe for absolute failure. You'll hate it, you'll feel exhausted, and you'll quit after 2 days. The goal here is sustainable, long-term change, not a brutal shock to your system. So, what's the magic number? How do you start small? Just 15 minutes. That's it. For the first week, all you have to do is set your alarm just 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. That's totally manageable, right? Once that starts to feel normal, maybe the next week you shave off another 15. This gradual, gentle approach is what makes the whole thing work. It lets your body clock adjust without putting up a huge fight. Now, this next tip is a total game changer. And I mean it. It's pretty much non-negotiable if you want this to work. Avoid your screens for the entire first hour. Just look at the difference here. When you wake up and immediately grab your phone, your brain is instantly hijacked by a world of distraction. You become reactive. You're reacting to other people's emails, their news, their drama. You start your day with stress. But when you stay unplugged, you stay in control. You become proactive. You are the one setting the agenda for your day, with focus and with clarity. And if you're sitting there wondering, okay, so what do I actually do with all this screen-free time? Well, here are some really powerful options for those reflection and growth blocks. Journaling is incredible for just untangling your thoughts and cultivating gratitude. Or you could finally start learning that language you've always talked about. You could dive into books that help you grow. The key is that it's your time to invest in yourself. By the way, if you want to go a little deeper on topics like this, we chat about them all the time in a more informal way over on our Spotify podcast. So feel free to check that out. So when you start to put all of these different pieces together, the early start, the 20-20-20 formula, staying off your phone, it becomes about so much more than just waking up early. It really is a fundamental shift in how you approach your life, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. It's about taking back control. It's about deciding that you will run your day instead of letting your day run you. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the essence of this whole philosophy. The person you want to become a year from now isn't built in some single grand moment of inspiration. They're built through the small, consistent, and sometimes boring actions you take every single day. Choosing to own your morning is choosing to actively build your future, one sunrise at a time. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. It's so easy to listen to something like this and feel inspired. But inspiration without action, well, it doesn't really change anything. The real transformation happens when you actually do something. You have the formula. You have the practical first steps. Your future is waiting for you. So the only question left is, how will you choose to build it tomorrow morning?